Hey Star Trek fans, Dan Gunther here. Welcome to my analysis and breakdown of the recent Star Trek Discovery Season 2 SDCC trailer shown at the panel in Hall H just this past weekend. Let's take a look. So we start out with some shots of some stellar phenomenon with Sonequa Martin Green as Michael Burnham, giving a bit of a voiceover, setting the mood. And we get this really cool shot of the Discovery flying by at warp. And I have to say, I really like this. It seems to be a slightly different effect from what we got in the first season. Less, kind of wavy, weird particles and more stars streaking by, but still that blue tint. Looks a little different from warp speed that we've known in the past, but still consistent with what Discovery's shown us so far. And then after that, we get a shot of Burnham in an environmental suit, sitting in kind of an area of carnage, wreckage, some sort of disaster has happened. And this is the part of the trailer that I have the most questions about. I'm really curious what this is. She's reacting to a figure that's coming out of the smoke. And as the light flashes, you can see there's kind of this pattern behind the figure. Possibly some big wings, basically striations. I'm not sure what this is, but it looks really interesting, and she reacts, of course, with a lot of fear or shock, perhaps. Next, we get our first introduction of Captain Christopher Pike, played by actor Anson Mount. He beams aboard the Discovery from the Enterprise and announces that he's taking command of the Discovery. It seems there's some sort of emergency situation, and he's exercising Starfleet regulations and taking command. My guess would be this is because the threat they're investigating is spread out over a number of light years, and they plan to use the Discovery spore drive to get them where they need to go as quickly as possible. That's just a guess on my part, but it kind of makes sense based on what we see in the trailer. So according to Pike, Starfleet has detected these 7 red bursts that have appeared, spread out apparently over 30,000 light years. Pike is apparently going to take Discovery to explore the reason behind them. They're not sure what their purpose is. They wonder if they could be a first contact situation or some sort of aggressive move on another species' part. So after Discovery sets off, we get kind of a quick montage of some images related to this exploration. We get Discovery entering an asteroid field, Pike and Burnham in environmental suits confronting some sort of threat, possibly raising their phasers. We also get some shots of these strange one-man pods that have kind of this spinning element to them. I'm not sure what kind of craft these are exactly, but we get Pike and Burnham piloting them along with someone else through this asteroid field. Pike's craft has obviously been damaged. There's a piece of debris puncturing the front canopy, and he says that he's in total free fall here. Burnham replies back that Discovery has him, not to worry. And then asks for confirmation from Oshikun and Detmer on Discovery, and their reaction is pretty amusing.
Trust us, Discovery has you. Right, ladies? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh dear.
So here we get a bit better view of the garment that Pike is wearing while piloting this thing. I'm not sure if this is just the undergarment for the environmental suits or a specialized flight suit for operating this vehicle, but it's a little different from what we've seen from Starfleet uniforms before. I really like this moment from Ensign Tilly and Lieutenant Stamets. Tilly exclaims, "That's the power of math, people," which I thought was really cute. Amy Nelson, who's a fellow host on the Trek FM network of podcasts, probably really loves this one. She's a math teacher, so I'll have to ask her what she thought of this scene when I see her in Vegas. At this point, the tone of the trailer changes somewhat, becomes a little bit more somber, and throughout we've been getting these kind of nice beauty shots of Discovery and the Enterprise. I have to say here, I'm loving the ship shots. They seem a bit improved over Season 1. I'm currently doing a Season 1 rewatch, and while I do love the first season of Discovery, there are a lot of really dark space shots of ships and stuff like that that you really don't see a lot. There seems to be a lot obscured, kind of really flashy images rather than showing really what's going on. But here it looks like they've lit the CGI models a lot better. We're seeing a lot more detail, seeing ships details a little better. I love the colors rather than the sheeny metallic look that they had before. So kudos to whoever's doing these space shots now. I really love them. And here's where we get the first indications of the role that Spock is going to play in the coming season. Like I said, the tone has shifted somewhat. It's become more somber. And Burnham is kind of investigating what's happened to Spock. Apparently he has requested leave to leave the Enterprise and investigate something himself. And Burnham determines that this appearance of the 7 red pulses is somehow linked to Spock. What that link is, we're not sure yet. It's just, hints from the trailer here, but it looks like the mystery of what has happened to Spock and where he is going to play a big role in season 2. Also, I have to point out some continuity touchstones in this shot of Spock's quarters. Burnham's investigating there. And you can see on the wall he's got a set of bells that are like the Vulcan bells in the TOS episode Amok Time. And over to the right-hand side, you'll see his Vulcan lyre, the instrument that he plays on a number of occasions in TOS. We also get a brief amusing scene with Tig Notaro's character, Engineer Reno. And I really love this. I think I'm going to really love Tig Notaro's role in the series. She's got that just kind of deadpan sense of humor of hers that I really love. The tone of the trailer picks up again here. We get another kind of montage of some action scenes, along with the Christopher Pike line, which I really love. Wherever our mission takes us, we'll try to have a little fun along the way, ruffle a few feathers. I really like this. It seems to me like they're trying to strike a different tone for season 2. Season 1, again, like I said, I loved it, but it was very somber, very dark. There was a lot of heavy issues they're dealing with. This one, it sounds like they're going to relax a little bit more, maybe take things a little bit more lightly, which I really like. And I love the kind of vibe that Anson Mount's Christopher Pike is bringing to this. And I really hope that translates into the series as well. And then here we see Anson Mount as Pike, and now he's changed into the Discovery style uniform, which, makes sense. I guess he's moved over to Discovery and is taking command. It makes sense that he'd change out of his bright yellow tunic from the Enterprise and change over into the Discovery uniforms. And there is precedent, of course, for different uniforms being used by different parts of Starfleet at the same time. So, I don't think of this as a continuity thing at all. We saw Worf transfer briefly to Deep Space Nine, and he kept wearing his next-gen style uniform until he became a permanent part of the crew and changed into the Deep Space Nine uniform. So, there is definitely precedent for this. We get a quick shot of Discovery flying through that asteroid field, and this particular asteroid playing hell with the bodywork on Discovery. This shot here, I'm really not sure where this is or what this is, but there are a lot of Starfleet officers there. I'm wondering if you see kind of a rocky surface there, like it's maybe in that asteroid field. I'm not sure why there are so many officers here. The floor looks like it could be Discovery or maybe the outer hull of Discovery. I'm not sure why they would all be out there, but yeah, I don't know quite what to make of this yet. But it's definitely an interesting shot and clearly the central focus of something big going on in season 2. More kind of quick montage shots. We see this shot, the containment tube that they were walking through earlier, the kind of quarantine thing they were walking through earlier is being ripped apart by some kind of force. Christopher Pike in the command chair saying, "Hit it," kind of reminiscent of Bruce Greenwood's Christopher Pike in the Star Trek 2009 movie with Punch It. And then following that, another quick montage of various shots throughout the season, presumably from the first couple of episodes or so. Then, of course, the title card for Star Trek Discovery Season 2. If you look at this graphic, you'll notice those 7 red bursts that they talked about are kind of a part of the logo here. So this is the central mystery, of course, that they'll be trying to solve, it looks like, in Season 2. So kind of neat that they've incorporated that into the logo of the series, for this trailer in any case. And then we get this little stinger scene at the end of the trailer, which I definitely have mixed feelings about. We have this Saurian crew member, Linus, and he has a brief conversation with Burnham talking about some sort of infection he has, I guess, a cold or something like that, and then sneezes on an Enterprise crewman. And yeah, it's disgusting. It's gross. It feels more like something you'd see on the Orville than on Star Trek Discovery. So I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of this scene. It didn't really do it for me. But I do really like the makeup work on Linus. So there's that anyway. So final thoughts on the trailer. I'm really enjoying the moving away from the war storyline and more into one that looks to be about exploration and the stuff that really makes Star Trek something special. I do have to say I love the vibe and energy that Captain Pike brings to the show. I hope that translates, like I said, into the series itself. I like the idea that they're shaking things up. They seem like more of a team, and there's less of that kind of heavy, oppressive feeling that the war brought to the season 1 story. So the fact that this is more like a team, they're working together, and they're out exploring, they're out finding the answers to a mystery. That is, you know, the sort of thing that I love in Star Trek, and I really love that we're kind of going back to that here. Most of the bits of humor in the trailer I really liked as well. Tig Notaro's character was a highlight. I really like Tilly, of course, Ensign Tilly now rather than Cadet Tilly. That's cool. And the little bit between Detmer and Owoshikun with Saru, oh dear, kind of giving his best C-3PO impression, it kind of seemed like. So yeah, I'm really digging this. I think we've got a really good season coming in Discovery. I hope that's the case anyway. And yeah, let's see a really great season 2 in Discovery, and hope that it's all that it can be. Keep an eye out on this channel for more news as we learn it with regards to Star Trek Discovery, and with anything else in the Star Trek universe. Still hoping to hear something about the expansion of the Star Trek television universe, as well as any news coming about Star Trek 4, directed by S.J. Clarkson, and the movie after that, supposedly directed by Quentin Tarantino. Hopefully that goes forward. I guess all in all, all that's left to say is it's a really great time to be a Star Trek fan in this fan's humble opinion. So let me know your thoughts on the trailer in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Thanks to the Patreon supporters as usual, and thanks to everyone else as well. Keep watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, live long and prosper. And I'll see you at STLV. So I will be wearing a t-shirt that's got the channel logo on it if they get here in time, which I really hope they do. So if you see me walking around, say hi. I'll also be there with a contingent of hosts from Trek FM as well. The Literary Trek's co-host, Bruce Gibson, as well as Amy Nelson, Justin Ozer, and a number of other hosts from Trek FM. So if you see us there, please don't be shy. Come by and say hi. We'd love to see you. Take care.